To Rishi, the leader of the opposition. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I join the Prime Minister in honoring the Grenfell community and acknowledge the importance of addressing this matter after PMQs? I also want to congratulate our Olympic and Paralympic teams on their outstanding achievements. Lastly, I'd like to pay tribute to the dedication and bravery of our police, who have worked tirelessly to keep our communities safe under difficult conditions this summer. Now, to the government's decision-making. The Prime Minister has chosen to cut the winter fuel allowance for low-income pensioners and redirect those funds toward inflation-busting pay rises for certain unions. Could I ask him to justify why he prioritized train drivers over vulnerable elderly people in Britain? Mr. Speaker, this government was elected to clean up the mess left by the opposition, and our first task was to tackle the $22 billion black hole we inherited. Richard Hughes from the OBR made it clear that this was one of the largest overspends outside of pandemic spending. Therefore, tough decisions had to be made, and winter fuel subsidies were one of them. However, we are committed to increasing pensions by more than £1,000 over the next 5 years, while targeting pension credit for those not claiming it. The Prime Minister must take responsibility for his choices. He decided to grant train drivers a £65,000 pay rise while cutting the fuel allowance for pensioners earning just £13,000. Can he explain to the nation why this choice was made, taking money away from the most vulnerable to benefit high-paid workers? Mr. Speaker, the opposition has left behind strikes, broken services, and an economy in need of repair. We are cleaning up their chaos, and will continue to do so, ensuring that pensioners are supported through housing benefits and targeted relief. On another issue, Mr. Speaker, the government has suspended 30 arms export licenses to Israel. Can the Prime Minister clarify how this decision supports efforts to secure the release of hostages held by Hamas and the broader peace process? The Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, I believe the entire House is horrified by the recent murder of 6 hostages. We all agree that the remaining hostages must be released, and we are committed to finding a two-state solution. The arms export licenses are under review according to legal guidelines, which were also in place during the opposition's time in office. Let me be clear, Mr. Speaker, we fully support Israel's right to self-defense, and the decision to review the licenses was made based on legal obligations, not political considerations. Our commitment to international law is what gives us strength in our diplomatic efforts, and we will continue to support Israel while adhering to the legal framework. I urge the opposition to recognize the importance of international law, as this is what underpins our global standing and ensures that we can engage in meaningful dialogue with our allies. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.